Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for posting of the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Reverse. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March. Right. Face. Post. Go. Left. Face. Forward. March.
If you would, please be seated. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the Specialist James Burnett Jr. Memorial Highway Sign Dedication Ceremony. We're really glad that you were able to come out today and participate in this event. My name is Mark Shelton, and I'm the District Engineer for the Missouri Department of Transportation Southeast District. I truly am honored every time that I get to take part in these ceremonies. MoDOT really doesn't have much to do with the ceremonies. It just happens to be a roadway, and roads are our thing, and we put up the signs and stuff like that, and it's just kind of, I think, really an honor that I get to have a part and play a part in these ceremonies that honor, especially these memorial highways, that honor, and this one in particular, that honors an individual, a young man from Missouri that is no longer with us, but will continue to touch the lives of the community and the family and the friends and neighbors for years and years to come. And I am truly humbled each and every time that I participate in these ceremonies and hear the stories of these brave soldiers who lost their lives, gave their lives, so that we could continue to have the freedoms that we enjoy. I'm especially proud today to be taking part in Specialist Burnett's ceremony. He was truly a great young man, from what I've heard and understand, with a bright future, who served his country and lost his life 1 year ago today in Kandahar, Afghanistan. I'd like to take time before we introduce our speakers to recognize all of the family of Specialist Burnett that's here today. If you would please stand and be recognized. While we're here to celebrate the sacrifice of Specialist Burnett, we also recognize that he's left behind a family that clearly and surely understands and appreciates that the freedoms that we have and enjoy don't come free. We have a few speakers here today, and our first speaker that we have is representing the Honorable United States Senator Claire McCaskill, Ms. Christy Mercer.
Thank you. Good afternoon. To Specialist Burnett's family, you're in my prayers. Claire couldn't be here today, but she sent some remarks that I would like to share with you on her behalf. It is important for us as a nation to take time to thank and pay proper respects to heroes like Specialist James Burnett, who served his country in Afghanistan in Operation Enduring Freedom. Today's dedication will remind all of us who drive this stretch of highway what his family and friends know, that he was a patriot willing to serve his country, the country he loved so much, and to protect our freedoms. I would like to thank Specialist Burnett's family for allowing the state of Missouri to honor their loved one in this way. The millions who travel here will learn of the high example he has set in honor, patriotism, and sacrifice. The dedication of this highway will help us to keep our promise to never forget what Specialist Burnett and his fellow men and women in uniform have done for our sakes. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Christy. Representing the Honorable United States Representative Joanne Emerson, we have here today Miss Judy Thrower.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here on behalf of the Congresswoman. I was fortunate enough to be able to be at the memorial service here in Advance when Specialist Burnett had his memorial service, and so to the family, you are indeed in our prayers as well, and you remain that way. I have a letter from the Congresswoman that she's asked me to read to you. Thank you so much for gathering in Advance today to commemorate the service of Specialist James Burnett, Jr. Specialist Burnett exemplifies the spirit of service that is a foundation of our communities, our state, and our nation. I deeply regret that due to the schedule of votes in the U.S. Congress, I cannot join you on this important occasion. The Specialist James Burnett, Jr. Memorial Highway will not only serve as a memorial to his services, but also as a reminder to travelers from near and far, frequent and infrequent, present and future, that we possess an unrivaled respect for those who wear the uniform of our country. Our great love of freedom is reflected in the way we remember those who have fallen in the line of duty. And we never forget the tremendous debt which is owed to the Americans who make that sacrifice, their families, and their memory. I am immensely proud that we have recognized the service of Specialist Burnett in Stoddard County. I deeply appreciate Senator Rob Mayer's efforts to name this section of Highway 25 for him. And my thoughts and prayers are with all of you on the solemn occasion of this dedication to a humble and brave soldier, a native son, and a true hero. Very sincerely, Joanne Emerson, Member of Congress. God bless you all.
Thank you, Judy. And as you mentioned, these ceremonies, these highway namings, don't just happen. It takes a legislator to enter a bill, and then they have to shepherd that through the process and just make sure that it doesn't fall off track, that it doesn't get hung up with something else, and just make sure that it makes its way through. And we're certainly appreciative of the efforts of the Honorable State Senator representing the 25th District, Rob Mayer.
Thank you, Mark, and thank each and every one of you for being here today and allowing me the honor to be a part of this ceremony. It's never easy to find adequate words in these times, and anything that I say or that we all say will fall short of what is deserved. And truly it is an honor and a privilege to be here to recognize and to remember Specialist James Burnett. I believe we're here today to honor a true American hero. Specialist James Burnett, in his short life, was able to accomplish many things, and he leaves a legacy beyond what most of us, men and women, will ever do over the course of our lifetimes. This Memorial Highway will serve as a reminder every day of not only the memory and legacy of Specialist James Burnett, but also the memories and legacy of everyone who serves our great nation. With us today are many of James' dearest friends and his relatives. And to you, I express my deepest sympathy for your loss and our thanks for his service. I have no words to ease the pain you feel, but I know this, that the Bible teaches us in the New Testament that there is no greater act of love and kindness than someone lay down his life for a fellow man. And James Burnett did that. He sacrificed his life not only for us here today, not only for the citizens of the state of Missouri and the citizens of this great country, the United States of America, but all freedom-loving human beings all across the world. And so today, we owe a great gratitude and debt to Specialist James Burnett for his family and for his friends who have shared in his loss. Just a few days ago, we observed, as you all know, the official holiday of Veterans Day. And I'm aware that to those who have loved ones deployed all around the world, every day is Veterans Day. It's my hope that we as a nation never take one soldier or one day of their duty for granted. These memorial highways are just a very small token of that remembrance. I want to end by saying this. I thank the Missouri Department of Transportation for administering this deserving program, and also my colleagues in the legislature, Representative Billy Pat Wright and others that helped me pass this legislation to designate this Memorial Highway. It's my hope that in some small way that this highway will contribute to the memory of Specialist James Burnett and serve as a reminder every day that we have men and women all around the globe in harm's way protecting us and everything we stand for as a nation. May we never forget their service, past or present. Thank you.
Senator, thank you, and thank you for sponsoring the legislation to make this a reality. Our next speaker today is certainly an advocate of the folks in southeast Missouri, the Honorable Representative Billy Pat Wright.
Thank you, Mark. Folks, thank you for allowing me to be here. And first of all, to the family and friends, I'd like you to know when you had the original memorial service, I was traveling out of state when I got the call from Madeline to tell me about Mr. Burnett. He passed away. My heart is with you. I'm sorry I was not here. I was with you in spirit. I'd like to thank also MoDOT, Senator Mayor, for presenting this legislation that this could happen. And for MoDOT, and not only that, Marissa, Nicole, all of them have a part in seeing that this flows through with ease, and that the sign is prepared, and with Rob's help, and we do this, we're working on one now for the gentleman over in Puxico. And it don't happen overnight. It takes a while to get it done. But we're happy to do it, proud to do it. And may this always serve, as Rob mentioned, Senator Mayor, as a reminder when we drive down the road, and the sacrifice that he'll live on in your hearts forever. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Neil Rogers, who is Specialist Burnett's grandfather.
Just take a minute. I'm going to read the U.S. Soldier's Creed. This one. I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen combat. I am disciplined, physically and mentally, tough, trained in proficiency in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert, and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. That's James. Wesley said, if I die, tell my family and friends to live life day by day and live it to the fullest. Specialist James Burnett, Jr. Yeah. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For I know the plans I have for you, I'm talking about James, the Lord, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. Jeremiah 29:11. I'll go down one. I'll do this one. Not that one, no. It takes a little while. It beats you. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. I believe that's James. I believe that's James. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. A little bit more. I'll do this one. I won't be very long. Heaven is not the only place that's good. For Christ said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you so. This is about James. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehendeth it not. My grandfather lived in a cave. I asked my dad, I said, how long did he live in a cave? And he said, Dad, I don't know. He never told me. One time I saw a king snake swallow a copperhead. The copperhead's tail was sticking out about 4 inches. I said, it must have been too long. And that one done. Yeah, much stuff. Okay. Says, Governor Nixon orders flags at half-staff for a fallen soldier. That was a year ago. In Wayne County, Missouri, Governor J. Nixon has ordered that the United States and Missouri flags at government buildings be all 114 counties in the city of St. Louis is flown at half-staff on Saturday, November 26th, to honor the bravery and sacrifice of Specialist James Burnett Jr. The hardened soldier died on November 16th after enemy forces attacked his unit with an IED in Kandahar province, Afghanistan. Governor Nixon also ordered all U.S. and military flags at all state buildings in Wayne County to be flown at half-staff from November the 27th to December 2nd. The funeral for Burnett will be announced in Wayne County on November 26th, 10 days later. The memorial service for the Specialist James Burnett Jr. will be held on Sunday, November 22nd at the old high school gymnasium in Advance. Burnett's father and stepmother live in Stark County. Specialist Burnett was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 5th Infantry Regiment, 1st Striker Brigade Combat Team, 25th Infantry Division, Fort Wayne, Alaska. His awards and decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart. Purple Heart, that's good, that's great. Great honor. Purple Heart. Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Bronze Service Star, Global War on Terrorist Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, NATO Medal, Medal Combat Infantry Badge, Combat and Special Skill Badge, Basic Marksmanship and Good Rifle Qualification Badge, for Weapon Rifle Inspection Rifle Expert in the Overseas Service Bar. Specialist James Burnett Jr. was the grandson of Neil and Sally Rogers, longtime residents of our Champion House Authority. Neil and Sally are also featured within this issue. Well, that is done. Oh, got one more, I think. Yeah, I hate to take all your time up.
You're fine, sir.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Just want to say a few words, a minute, just a few. James was out on maneuvers a few days before he got killed every week, and his buddy got his legs blowed off. James picked him up and ran him to a helicopter, put him in a helicopter. Don't let my buddy die, don't let my buddy die. Take him to the hospital, take him to the hospital. His buddy's still alive, with all of his legs. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is any glory. Even a small amount of glory. I ask that be for God. Let my glory be to God, not me. Thank you.
Mr. Rogers, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have been at several of these ceremonies, and I have never been so encouraged or so impressed.
Thank you, God. It's good, and God, He did it all.
And to see a man who has lost his grandson stand up and quote from the scriptures. Thank you. Our final speaker this afternoon is Specialist Burnett's stepmother, Miss Sherry Burnett.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to Rob Mayer and Billy Pat Wright, because even though you'll say this is the least that you could do, we really do appreciate your efforts in getting this sign up for us. And I'll just ask you to bear with me, and I'm going to get through a little speech that I've written. No one would argue that our family has not had a tough year. Time has passed too quickly. It seems like only yesterday we received those dreaded visitors. I won't say time has made it easier. However, time has given us a different perspective and taken away some of our bitterness. I pray that time continues to serve us well. I have made the serenity prayer our motto. It reads, Lord, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change. We faced a lot of unchangeable pain over the past year, and we looked to each other for our strength. Our literal road of acceptance took us to Alaska for James's unit memorial. We met James's Arlene family there and shared memories with them and heard them talk of, according to every one of them, their best friend. I didn't know it was possible for one person to have so many friends, best friends. I myself have many friends, lots of good friends, but only one BFF. I lost count of how many people spoke of James as their very best friend. For those of you who were blessed to know him, you know he would like for all of us to share his optimistic outlook. He was always smiling and laughing, and without knowing it, promoting, "Can't we all just get along?" campaign. James was the peacemaker for us his last Christmas and his summer that he was with us. And for those of you who have the inside track to our family, you see my two little kids on the front row being boisterous. We're all that way, and loud, argumentative, and opinionated. But somehow James managed to take an impending fight and turn it into something to laugh about, or he would just completely defuse the situation with some outrageous and hilarious story. James probably wouldn't like being called a hero. He wouldn't like all the attention he has received over what was to him was a job. He joined the Army to serve his country because it was the right thing to do, because it was a good fight, and most of all, because it was exciting. He was not a sit around and wait for something to happen. He was a let's go out and find something. He was by no means shy. He liked to draw attention to himself without being the center of attention. He liked to be a part of exciting and daring things. He liked to be heroic without flaunting his part at being the hero. And somehow he pulled all this off. On the acceptance part of this prayer, we can accept that James wasn't too weak or too uncertain to grab what he wanted. We can smile when we think of all the good times he had with his family and friends. We can be proud that he himself was responsible for his happiness. We can accept that James lived life as he chose. We can accept that he knew his role in his families, in his unit, and for America. He lived those roles bravely and held true to all the responsibilities and commitments that they require. The remainder of the Serenity Prayer is, God, grant us the courage to change the things we can and the wisdom to know the difference. James had courage and confidence that he could change the world. However, he was wise enough to know he wasn't invincible. He did not let fear stop him from fulfilling his dreams, goals, and duties. He taught us that even when faced with adversity or some truly awful task that I won't even tell you about, that he was given as punishment, do it with a smile. You can always change it and make it into a great story to tell later on. This month, James would have been 22. So easily a negative when you see that relatively small number in the grand scheme of things. But I can't let this get me down when he lived so positively full of life. In his words, live life like it's your last day. You never know when or where it's going to end. No selfish tears or self-pity for me. Today, I will only heed his advice. I will live life, smile and laugh, because this is the legacy he left for me, for my children, for his siblings, for all of those he loved. James showed us how to be courageous and dream big, and whatever you may want in life, he taught us how to go for it. Be bold, be daring, even if it is something as simple as your own happiness. Be courageous in your journey. James is cheering you on. And that's my message. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Specialist Burnett signs will be placed on Highway 25 in Stoddard County from the South City limits of Advance to 1 mile south of the South City limits. And this portion of highway will be named the Specialist James Burnett Jr. Memorial Highway. Thank you to our speakers today. Thank you to the Advance Elementary School for allowing us to use this facility. Thank you to the family for allowing us to be a part of the ceremony. And also thank you, Mr. Roby, and to the Charleston High School Junior ROTC for hosting and retiring the colors. We will, a couple other things we need to do. In just a second, we'll retire the colors. And then we will have an opportunity to unveil the sign that we have here, and for pictures and all that kind of stuff. I want you to know that currently one of the signs is up, and before the sun goes down, that one will be up on the highway as well.
I thank you a lot, sir.
If you would please rise for the retirement of colors.